Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Xbox Live episode 470 DayZ. I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman 709, and with me is my bestest buddy, Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Happy episode 470 to everybody, including you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's almost like a birthday, isn't
Yes.
it?
And we have one every week.
Exactly. Um, All right. So you can listen to us live each and every week on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, and let's jump into what we've been playing with. Rob, we'll start with you.
Not a whole lot this week, just a little bit of Gems of War. That's really about it. Next. How about
Next.
you, Mark?
Obviously, Gems of War.
Of
No big
course.
surprise there. I am level 171.
Wow. Do you play it much?
Very little.
I
uh,
think I think it's opposite. It's very little time that you're not playing it.
there you go. There's an achievement for getting to level 250 and one to getting level 500. So I'm
Wow.
gunning
Yeah,
for them both.
you'll get them both in like the next 3 weeks.
No, next 3 years
Nah.
maybe. Um, okay, so I also have been playing some Diablo 3. Actually started a hardcore character this weekend. And I was playing with Comrade. We started out, we were both going, making some progress, and then we are like, we need someone who's a higher level to come into this that has a hardcore character that they can really just carry us. So I called out to Ryan over at Horrible Gamers, and he had like a level 33 hardcore, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll jump in." He goes, "But I'm a little worried it's going to make it harder for you. It's going to ramp up." And we're like, "Oh, we'll just stay in the back." Well, he jumped in right as we went into a boss level, which was our
Wow.
our mistake. Yeah, there was no place to hide, and both of us lost our hardcore characters
Oh,
dead that
wow.
quick. It was like no, and hardcore, that means you start all over. Um, hey, Gunny Chief, how you doing? And so hardcore, your character dies. Like if you die, that's it. They're done. You have to
Yeah,
start the
yeah.
game over. That's the whole point of hardcore. So we
Oh,
started it again, and it was funny. Like we jumped in, Comrade was running. She started like, okay, we'll jump into your create your new character, Comrade. Start your game again. We'll jump in. So she did, and she went off, started like the very from the very beginning. Soon as Ryan jumped in, she got killed because it ramped everything up. Where she's slaying people, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm doing no damage to you, and they went whack, and she was dead. She's like, what? I died again, so she had to create a third one, and we're like, okay, this isn't gonna work because I was like, I'm doing no damage to these people, and
yeah.
so um, the so what we did was Ryan actually restarted his character, and the three of us started from scratch with all brand new characters, and we started playing. So her and I are running through it. Ryan may here and there run through it. I just don't know what his schedule's like, but Comrade and I are attempting to do this together um, to see what happens, see if we can get through it. So, but I don't know. I have very little hope. My fear is I'm going to get to level 69 and then die, like one level away from 70. Um, that's my concern. But I'll tell you what, it really changes that game. Like all of this time that I've been playing, it's just like you're just running around, and it's like you're so leveled up. You're just annihilating everybody. There's really no fear of dying. And if you die, it's like okay, just respawn. Well, you can't do that here. And it's just like
Right, right.
I'm scared to play. It's like I don't want to go. You go
Uh,
in the room. I don't want to open that door. I don't know what's on the other side of the door. It really
nice.
changes your whole viewpoint of the game. And it's like stresses me out. It's like I don't know if I can do it. It's definitely a new twist to a great game. Um, Also, I've been playing some Call of Duty World War II. Played a little bit more to campaign, played some more multiplayer. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really do enjoy the multiplayer. It really feels like it just feels back to like kind of how I felt back with Modern Warfare multiplayer. Just it just was so much fun. So I'm really enjoying that.
So they went back to the basics with it.
I feel like so. Yeah, I feel like they did.
Nice,
There's
nice.
still a lot of stuff you can level up and unlocks, and but it just has that. To me, it's like it's fun again. I feel like it's fun again. Like I can compete. I mean, there's times I just get destroyed. Then other matches, it's like, hey, I'm actually doing pretty well, and so. But yeah, it just feels kind of fun again, which I haven't felt in a Call of Duty game in a long time with the
Nice.
multiplayer. So, but that's what I've been playing, and so and again, I missed it. Good thing Brun. Hopefully, Brun's not watching because I goofed up again. How do I do this? Not that. That one. Okay, there's the picture for what we're playing now. We're going to move on. You can
Hmm.
support us at Patreon by going to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon. This is a monthly, you sign up for whatever amount that you'd like to donate to us each and every month, and Patreon will take care of that for you. And then if you want to do a one time tip, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate and leave us a tip that way as well. All right, so going into some topics. So the title of our show is DayZ, and that might sound a little strange. And this story was a little weird to me, Rob. Are you familiar with the game DayZ?
Very. I'm familiar with it, but I don't know much about it.
Like you've heard of it,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah, that's the thing for me. So my and you guys will have to excuse our ignorance if we get any of this incorrect. But my understanding is so DayZ is kind of a more of a survival game where to me it's like in this
Oh, it's a game. I thought it was a rapper.
I don't know, maybe. I'm
Never
talking about
mind.
the
I'm
game.
kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah.
So prior to PUBG, um, this was a game that's I guess was pretty popular. I think it still is fairly popular on
Okay.
PC, where you go in and you're by yourself and you've got nothing and you gotta go kind of find your gear, a lot like PUBG. Like you gotta go find food and ammo and weapons and all these different types of things. Um, and this game's been out since it's been a long time. I don't think they say the date, but the development team behind this game has confirmed that the game's going to come to Xbox One this year, 2018.
Okay.
So, um, and it also going to PlayStation. They said it's going to be in the preview, Xbox game preview at some point this year. They're not sure about PS4 yet, but they will release there too eventually. They just don't know when yet. So, again, it's coming to Xbox first, which is cool. Um, now, this Xbox One release was hinted back in 2014 when the creator said he wants to bring it to the Microsoft console as well as the PS4. Uh, Last year, the producer said that DayZ will be out in early access next year, and which is 2018. So this has been oh yeah, it has been available through Steam early access since 2013. Uh,
Wow.
so it's interesting. This is like a zombie game. My understanding, it's like a zombie game. So, and I believe, and like I've watched people play. So like if you're out and you gotta get wood, if you got an axe, you can chop down a tree to get wood. But by doing that, you're making noise, which can alert zombies and stuff to you. Now I don't know if this is all PVE and AI zombies or if if there's other players, in here. I believe there's modes where you can have other people in it, just like in PUBG, where you're playing against 100 other or 99 other live players. Um, but DayZ is looks like it's gonna come hit the console this year. So I would imagine, Rob. I don't know. We don't know any specifics. This is the only bit of story that we got out of this.
Right, right.
Um, And Gunny Chief was telling me it is PvP light on the zombie side. Oh, okay. So so I guess this is more of like a PUBG type of game, but there are zombies in the game. So it'll be interesting to see. But I was kind of surprised because like this game seems. This was 5 years ago it came out, right? And
Right,
it's.
right.
I thought it was kind of more of a people aren't really playing it anymore. I know there's been a lot of other games like this. I can't. There's another real popular one that I just can't think of right now um, that I've seen people play. That's very similar to DayZ, but I kind of thought these things were kind of moving past it, and we were more into the battle royale. So I find it interesting that this is coming out this year. So we'll see if they improve the graphics and stuff like that. I would hope so. So
Hmm.
I'd hope it'd look better. But if you just aren't getting enough of your survival games, looks like more on the way. Uh, as long as as well as all the battle royale modes that are coming. So, what's your thoughts, Rob? You think we're going to get oversaturated with this stuff?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of games that do it poorly, and then like one game that does it really well. You know what I mean? Like we kind of well, there's two big contenders right now, aren't there? When when you think of battle royale, what do you think of?
Fortnite and PUBG.
Right. And now we had that statistic, what that came out. Am I jumping ahead here? Let me just double check. No. Okay. So we had that statistic that came out this week that Fortnite is surpassing PUBG
Yeah.
for Battle Royale. You know, I think each of these games has their place. It's like a different flavor of kind of like the same thing. Like you got your
Right.
COD and you got your Battlefield and all that, but people tend to gravitate towards one. So I think it's cool to have the extra selection of, different games that you like. It's like, hey, I want to do like a zombie thing, or I want to do more realism. I want to do something more cartoony that's got a different spin on it,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a clear winner, I think. And it's nice that they're bringing DayZ over. What now that it's because it came out when the came out on
2013.
Steam when Xbox One was released.
Yeah.
Same year, 2013. So that was 5 years ago. So it's nice that it's coming over and it's given us another choice to play on the consoles. But the more the merrier, and I think there's going to be a clear winner. And like right now, to me, that's looking like Fortnite.
Well, between PUBG and Fortnite, I'll say this. Personally, I think Fortnite is a better game for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
Number one, it works.
Yeah, that's
It's
important,
that
right?
is important. Now, it's a and it's also, I guess you could also call it a beta. I don't know if that thing falls under beta, but I think it still does. I think they still have the preview beta tag because I bought the beta version of Fortnite, which it's still in that beta preview or whatever you want to call
Right.
it. But because it's supposed to go free to play game, the whole Fortnite game, but the battle royale mode, I mean, they launched that thing and it's worked from day one. It's been very smooth, very few issues, which is nice.
Right.
But
Right.
PUBG has gotten a lot of updates, and so before you guys start sending the hate mail, jeez, people, I know it's gonna come, but let's be adults. Let's have a real conversation. That's what we're all about here. Um, PUBG is obviously in a preview, but it and they've done a very good job of updating that thing. They put an update about every week on that. I think they've
Oh
had
yeah.
5 or 6 updates already, and
That's
the game
awesome.
is much improved. But I do think Fortnite has come out the gate just working from day one. And it's smooth. It's basically the same gameplay, but I find that the controls are a lot easier. It's not as complicated as PUBG, um, and um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a cartoony version compared to a more realistic. And I enjoy both. I think both these games have a place. Um, but I will say the reason I do know the number one reason that Fortnite is outdoing PUBG is PUBG costs $30 and is only on Xbox right now. Fortnite's free and it's on PlayStation, PC, Xbox. It might even be on Nintendo. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I'll have to look that one up. But you got a bigger player base for Fortnite, and the game's free, so everybody's going to jump in and try it. Where PUBG
Yeah.
it's only on the Xbox and the PC, and so there
But
are
it's a free to
limits.
play, but doesn't it cost to get it right now?
What's free to play?
The Fortnite
Fortnite?
game.
No, the Fortnite Battle Royale is
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
free.
that's right. That's right. That part it is.
Fortnite
The regular
is
game.
there is a full on game to that. So,
Hmm.
and greetings, Monkey Punch. How you doing? It's pretty sweet. I can see we got people on YouTube watching us, people on Twitch watching us. Let's see if anybody's watching on Mixer right now. Which screen do we? Not yet. So we'll get them there. But yeah, and there's a lot of neat stuff. It's like people, and it's kind of interesting. I've listened to people talk about both, and it's weird. It's like the PUBG Fortnite thing reminds me of like the Ford Chevy debate, right? You cannot like one or the other. You have to love one and hate the other. And I guess I should throw Dodge in there. I don't know why. Who likes Dodge? But there's a few people that do. So but you can't say anything nice about it. Like I'm a Ford owner, so I think there's a law that states I can't say anything good about a Dodge or a Chevy, right? And then of course, there's other truck makers, but they don't. They're kind of toy trucks, right? Because they are
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of here. Thanks for hosting, Gunny. Appreciate that. Um, so that doesn't even really count. But
Okay.
um, it's it's like people like they get into this like PUBG rules, Fortnite sucks, and I see streamers like I'll watch people play both games, and people ask them questions and they're like, "Oh, that other game sucks," It's like not really. They're they're the same gameplay, right? But they're
Right, right.
different, and there's nothing wrong with one being realistic, and then the other one being more. You can get a bush costume, and you can put up, and it's funny, dude. I
That's
laugh every
so
time
funny.
somebody's running around as the bush, And then if
Yeah.
you sit there and don't move, then it's like you really are hidden. But it's not that. If you're watching and you're looking, you can tell, but it's like you,
Yeah.
you got to be paying attention and looking for it, otherwise yeah, you would miss it. But it's so funny, and it's just it's fun. I think it's a lot easier, more accessible for people.
Yeah.
But
It's
it
more
doesn't.
family friendly.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's better, or that the other one doesn't make the other one suck. They're
Right.
both good games, they really are.
Yeah.
But again, Fortnite obviously is going to be doing better, um because it is free and it's on more platforms. So, and I it's we got lots of shooters, and we've got plenty of room for survival games. So DayZ will, by the time it gets here, it will have competition, because PUBG will for sure be full on retail, full on version by the time DayZ goes, you know, early access or
Right.
game preview or whatever we're calling it.
Hmm.
You know, um, I just wish I could remember the other game. There's another one I just can't think of, but that's like DayZ. But it'll come to me in the middle of the night, and I'll wake up and scream in the name and scare the wife. But yeah, so if you are into DayZ, look for that in 2018, coming to the game preview. So, all right. Next up. Oh, okay. So going right into PUBG again. We were talking about that. If you don't have an Xbox One, or you are in the market for an Xbox One S and want to play PUBG and don't have that yet, you can. Let's see, when does this start? You're gonna be able to buy a bundle. They're So the Player Unknown Battlegrounds is going to be bundled in an Xbox One S uh, bundle. it's
Okay.
This is going to happen February 20th. So you're going to be able to get this PUBG Xbox One S bundle, and you're going to get the S with a 1 terabyte hard drive, the wireless controller, built-in 4K, blah blah blah. We know all that stuff. Uh, you're going to have the full game download to PUBG, so you can start playing it now. And of course, you'll when it goes free, um, or when it goes full retail, you'll have it. You do get a month Xbox Live Gold and 1 month Xbox Game Pass. So the caveat here, and this is going to cost $299 in the U.S. So $299.99, so $300. Um, so you can get the console and the game. The caveat here is if you are new to Xbox or you're looking to get on Xbox, you are going to be required to have Xbox Live Gold. So after a month, you are going to have to, if you want to stay playing PUBG, you do have to subscribe to the Xbox Live Gold. So just keep that in mind. H1Z1. Thank you, Gunny. That was the other game I was thinking of. Gunny, you're a rock star. Appreciate that, sir. So yeah, $300 for an Xbox One S. My question here's a question for you, Rob. And
Yeah.
I thought this is the question I had when I saw this story, and I was talking to, I think it was Jesus Walks a Lot this week while we were playing some Call of Duty. He said the same thing. Why isn't this? Why didn't they put this bundle into an Xbox One X? Why would they put it on an S instead of an X?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
You
It's got to
know,
be accessibility. Like
they just
if they load up all the bundles as Xbox One X, you know, is it going to hurt sales from the standpoint of everybody looks at all these bundles and goes, "Whoa, these are $500 versus, you know, less, like
versus 300.
300." Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I feel like I don't know. I think the X should get, where are the
Yeah.
bundles for that? I mean, and maybe
It
it's too early. The console's only been out for what, 4 months? I guess maybe it's a little early. It's still premium, right? So
yeah, because that is the thing because to some degree money matters. You know, you look at like a huge gripe that I have with the Nintendo Switch is the Nintendo Switch suckers you into buying into this Switch environment. You're like, oh wow, $300 for the console or for the tablet, whatever you want to call it, $300 for the Switch. That's not bad. I'm gonna jump on it, and then all of a sudden you're buying a case for like $25. You're buying a game for $60. You're buying like your special controller and stuff like that, and you're $500 into You know what I mean?
yeah,
It really, because it caught me off guard. Because I mean, this is the mindset that I basically had. I'm like, well, I'll buy it for my son. It's not that bad. I don't want to get these bundles. These bundles are expensive. No, the bundles are pretty much right on. You're just buying everything all at once, and
right.
it's $500. And I think it's ridiculous when people complain about an Xbox at $300 with a controller and you can play games and well, it really does. Well, some of them come with games, but especially like Xbox One S, there were bundles as low as what, 229
Yeah.
ish, something. Or maybe it wasn't a bundle, but this console is like so cheap. It's like, why wouldn't you not buy it?
Well, it does. I
And
mean, I get from their standpoint, if they want to get more people into the Xbox ecosystem, you take the cheapest version and you throw in the most popular game right now. And I get that. You will sell more of these than you would an X.
right,
Yeah, I mean,
right,
I get that. It's just
or have both.
yeah, it's like why not bundle it with both? Give people the option. I just, but I think it's too early. Again, it's only EX is still the premium console, so
Yeah,
it'll be a while before
because
we get some bundle and love. Maybe by the end of this year. So,
it's kind of like the premium product doesn't need the discounts. Like here in Chicago, we have a restaurant chain called Portillo's, which I know you're familiar with, Mark,
oh,
now that you don't have one
oh, dude, why did you even say
nearby.
that?
So Portillo's is this place where the drive-through will literally have 30 cars in it, like
Yep.
during lunch. And it's one line of 30 cars, not multiple lines that, some chains have. And there's no meals, there's no coupons, there's no discounts. You buy everything at full price, everything.
Yep.
And people do.
Yep.
Places like McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and local places, they need coupons to draw people in.
Yeah.
Certain places don't. So, and Portillo's, as far as I know, they don't advertise anywhere.
They don't
Nothing.
have to, dude.
Exactly. Exactly. Because people know.
The food
And that's the
speaks
thing.
for itself.
And that's the thing with a premium product. The people that will buy it, they already know about it. You know what I mean? Whereas people that don't know anything about it, they're the ones that need the bundles. They need to be coerced to purchase, and they need to get that entry level system. And I think that's the case, that's the thing that they're battling with a lot
Yeah.
on the bundle sale pricing front.
Yeah.
So we just need the Xbox to be a Portillo's.
It's called the X. So,
Yes.
real shout out to Drano85, who's watching us on Mixer,
All
and
right.
Gunny's on Twitch, and I know Monkey Punch is on YouTube. And they're in the chat. So, thanks, guys. I'm glad to know that you guys are able to pick your platform of your choice. That's so cool. So glad this is working well. So, all right, let's move on to our next. So, not a whole lot to report on this one. We were talking about Call of Duty World War II a minute ago, but 2018's Call of Duty is reportedly a Black Ops 4. So
Okay.
that's what we're probably, at least it rumored right now, of what we're gonna see in the next Call of Duty game. So this is by Treyarch, and so they're the makers of the
It's
previous.
their turn.
Yeah, it's their turn this year. So multiple sources are telling Eurogamer that Black Ops 4 is going to be this year's entries in the Call of Duty. So they're going to reportedly dial back the sub-series sci-fi elements, instead opting for a more grounded feeling. So that's
Okay.
we'll have more on that when it's. I don't want to dive into it too much because it's rumor at this point, but just,
Right.
we haven't yet heard. We have yet to hear anything official on what the next Call of Duty is. So, but it looks like Black Ops 4 very well could be it. All right. Also, I'm excited about this. I love me some Pinball FX, and the bad thing about this was that I just recently they had a sale and I got all the tables. I'm like, sweet, I want
All
all
of
the
them?
tables.
Wow.
And well, I had all of them because on February 20th, uh, Zen Studios is releasing 3 more Pinball FX3 tables, all from Jurassic World. So there's a Jurassic World, there's a Jurassic Park, and let's see if I can. Let's see, the Jurassic World Pinball Pack. Ugh, I can't speak. Celebrates 25th anniversary of the film by offering 3 tables inspired by the events in Jurassic World and the original Jurassic Park. The tables will also be available on iOS, Google Play, Mac, PlayStation
Of
4,
course.
Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So you have no excuse not to play Pinball FX. Tell me it's not on your platform. I'd be like,
Yeah.
wrong. So 3 new tables, and I saw some of the clips for them. They look fantastic. They look really cool, and I will be buying these on
Yeah.
February 20th. So
They
um,
do such a nice job with all these.
they really do.
Yeah.
They are the best pinball game makers out there. Period. There's other stuff. I think we just recently had one a week ago or 2 weeks ago. A
Yeah.
pinball game come out, and there's been some others, and it's just like I've played some of them, and they're like, nope, you're just not Pinball FX, man. It's the best. So
Yeah.
those were my stories. You got any
No, I
recap
just
this week?
got, yeah, I do have recap. Not much on the story front that I could find. Recap wise, can you believe that PUBG has been released on mobile?
How?
Don't get
I
all excited because it's only in China.
Yeah. How do you play PUBG on a phone?
I don't know. There's apparently two versions of this. One is like what I'll call traditional PUBG, and then the other one is more mobile friendly, arcadey, however you want to put it. But they're only available in China. So maybe they'll come over. Who knows?
I don't care. We don't need that one to come over.
that would be so. That'd be so stressful. It's not something you could. Well, I suppose you could play it on the toilet, but
Oh man, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
yeah. I mean, that's what you do in a lot of mobile games, I guess. But yeah,
I got a chicken dinner while I'm on a toilet. Awesome.
yes, yes.
Wow.
I
That
can't come out now.
wasn't it like
Yeah.
Ralphie from the Christmas story? For
Yeah.
crying out loud, I'm busy.
Yes. I haven't got my chicken dinner yet. I can't come out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we've got that. There's a couple of games that hit backwards compatibility. Oh, what were they? Where is this list here? Splinter Cell Conviction
Oh,
was released. I don't know when this was. Maybe Saturday or prior. Anyway, Splinter Cell Conviction is the latest game to join backwards compatibility or
good game.
Xbox One backwards compatibility.
Good. Not as good as Blacklist. That is the best
Yeah.
Splinter Cell game, but Conviction was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one that really pulled me in. I tried playing Splinter Cell games before Conviction and just couldn't get into them, and that one pulled me in, and it was awesome.
Yep. And then let's see here. Where got too many browsers open. Oh, here we go. The original Xbox One controller. I'm sorry. The original Xbox One controller, also known as the Duke,
The Duke.
is now open for pre-order. For a mere $70, you can get that behemoth and be all ready for the um, original Xbox compatibility stuff. Also, we talked about it earlier, the Sea of Thieves controller that is now also available for $75.
That thing looks
I think
good.
it looks really cool. It
Yeah.
looks really nice. I mean, if I was to buy one, if I needed a controller, I would probably buy this one
Yeah.
over an Elite, actually.
It looks cool, man.
Still bitter about my Elite controller. But yeah, it does look great. So $75 for that. Um, a little bit more on the PUBG front. So PUBG has banned 2.5 million cheaters so far.
Maybe that's why Fortnite has more people because
Yeah.
PUBG's banning everybody.
So I just thought this was freaking crazy. So they banned 2.5 million accounts, and 1 million of them alone were banned in January. And this is just crazy. I mean, I imagine what the cheaters are probably using what aimbots or something. And I
They're
heard something about like you could actually be in the prone position and go as fast as a car or something like that.
Well, there's a lot of stuff like that, but also, see, PUBG really brought this on themselves. So
How so?
what they did was there's you can get like these crates, and the crates will have very limited items. Like it's all apparel. It doesn't affect the game. And well, it is affecting the game, but I guess this
Yeah.
is probably the first time like a jacket has affected the game. But the items are like apparel, cosmetic items, but they're in like real limited quantities. Like there's only a few, and so what people are doing is in on the PC version, when you get like that item, then you can sell it in the Steam store for real world money. And I guess some of these things there's like a specific leather coat that's going for like $1,000.
What?
Yeah, like real world money that you can sell this, and people are paying outrageous amounts of money just to have that stupid a piece of item, cosmetic item in the game. So what's happening is you're getting a lot of, and I've seen this, a lot of teams that are getting together in solo games, and they're working together, and they're going around and basically killing off everybody else, and then they already like decide who's going to win, and then they'll kill each other off so that that one person, the one account that was supposed to win to get it, gets the item, and then they go into the next game and they'll switch out who wins the match.
Okay.
And these are in solo games, so you've got like a team of four working
Yeah.
against everybody else that's by themselves. And that's, again, they're doing it to be able to make real world money. So like I said, PUBG kind of brought this on themselves by allowing you to sell crap in the store for real world money, and then
Right.
limiting
Right.
all these items, because now people are like, okay, now the prices have skyrocketed, so people are going to go in, and so you can go in and in a solo match, now you're cheating but you're not hacking, right? Or you can hack and use aimbots and all these different things. And that's where a lot of this is coming from. That's why they've wiped out 1 million. And you can also tell too, a lot of times it's like almost every time that you see some of these people, it's like their account names are like, 1919191919. It's just like a bunch of random letters
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
numbers. It's like it's not even a gamer tag. It's just some fictitious account they created so they can try to get as much as they can before it gets whacked, and they'll move on to the next fictitious account. Um, so if they would stop that, if they would take out the ability to resell your items for real world money in the store, that would kill off a huge amount of the cheaters. I mean, you're still going to have people cheat. There's just idiots in the world,
Right.
but you're not going to have millions of people doing it. The reason they're doing it is because they're getting paid for it. So
Okay.
they need to stop that.
Yeah. That's just crazy. $1,000 for a virtual coat.
Yeah, that
Buy
essentially
a
does
real
nothing
coat
to. It
for
doesn't
less
give you
money.
any bonus or anything in the game.
Yeah.
It's just a coat.
I wouldn't buy a real coat for
I know.
$1,000, let alone like a skin.
I know.
And then people complain about loot boxes. Come on,
They complain about
really?
horse armor. What was the horse armor? Was $5 or something? They're like, what? But they'll pay $1,000 for a freaking fake jacket, or it's insane, dude. There's a lot of people out there with
Wow.
a lot of money, I guess.
No, some people really get into it, I guess. Buy a real coat. Buy some Bitcoin. Do something. I don't know.
I
Any
want
that's butter.
yeah
Buy some Portillos.
oh man, I want to order some Portillos, have it shipped here, but all they do are the hot dogs,
Oh,
which
that's
are
it.
fantastic. But I want the combo beef sausage sandwich,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Oh, that is the best. Dry with melted mozzarella over it. Oh, and their French fries, a large Coke, and a slice of chocolate cake, man. Oh, oh man, that is the best. Oh, hey,
You know,
cubicle,
you know,
welcome.
I've got a Portillo's 2 miles from my house,
You
and
suck.
I've never been there.
Dude, you need to go tomorrow just for me. Take
I'd
a
rather go to
picture
Rico
of it.
Benny's.
Oh man, breaded
That's
steak
another one.
sandwich.
Yes.
Real potatoes, cut French fries. Oh,
Yeah, big old bag.
oh, of grease. Just,
Yes, yes.
That's all right. I got McDonald's. I got
And no
nothing
McRib.
special out here. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
Welcome to
Oh,
this fast food life,
yeah,
folks.
exactly. All right. So what's our next story?
So, another thing was, so Red Dead Redemption got delayed, right? To,
What, like
was it
October?
next year or was it
No,
October
no,
this
it's
year?
October of this year.
Yeah. So, Rockstar Games is basically saying, we will not delay it again until they do.
Yeah, until they do. I think this one's probably pretty fair, pretty
Yeah.
good that we're going to see it at this point.
Or at least what'll happen is this is the release where they're going to release it no matter what and then just follow it up with patches.
Exactly.
So the original release date, I forgot what that was. It
I think
was
it
earlier
was
this year,
last year, wasn't it?
March. Was it last year?
It was
Okay.
last year, and then I think it was bounced to the spring, and now it's delayed again till the fall.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
but
so they're saying we will not delay it yet again.
but
We'll see.
Rockstar puts out good games.
Yeah. Another thing is Fortnite. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Fortnite has hit, what was the number here? A record 3.4 million concurrent players. And that was over the weekend of the Super Bowl. Was that last week or the week before?
That
No, it
was
was
last
last
week,
week. Yeah.
last Sunday.
Yeah. So they hit 3.4 million concurrent players. That doesn't mean that there's 3.4 million players. It's just how many played at one time. Um, in comparison, PUBG hit 3 million concurrent in January. So I guess the big difference between these is Fortnite is across a whole bunch of different platforms, like what we were saying,
Yeah,
and PUBG is only on two.
correct.
And I don't know if their stats of 3 million included Xbox or not. But
I would imagine PUBG stats did include everything
yeah.
because you want the largest number possible.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And then, oh, what was this last one here? The last one was Epic is has announced that they're going to roll out a 60 frame per second mode for the Xbox One later this month. Do you think that that matters for people?
wait a minute, what game?
For Fortnite? I'm
Fortnite's
sorry.
getting us.
For Fortnite, they're getting an optional 60 frame per second mode.
I think it does matter to people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is that? Just because of like reaction time or?
Yeah, it'll make it respond quicker, faster. At least the way I understand it. Um, it's in a game like in a Twitch game, in
Mhm.
a Twitch shooter, it's more about how quickly it's going to respond and instead of like the visuals. I think people complain about 30 frames or 20 frames. It's you're starting to get a little choppy. So 60
Mhm.
frames is buttery smooth. That's what you
Yeah,
want.
they said the 60 frame per second mode is tuned for the different consoles to maximize frame rate while minimizing loss of visual quality. Because PlayStation's also getting this in addition
Yeah.
to the Xbox One. And then it looks like they also added a bunch more servers.
Yep.
But I believe that's it. That's all I've got for this week.
All right. Cool. All right. Skipping the rant. I actually don't have a rant this week. If I was to rant, it would be on cheaters, and we've already talked about that. So, um, I'll be back next week with some good ranting or something. I'll come up with something.
Hmm.
So I thought I had something earlier in the week, and I was like, I remember thinking I'm gonna rant on this, and but it wasn't gaming related at all. Which I said sometimes they're gonna not be gaming related, but I honestly can't remember what it was that I was gonna rant on. I have no clue, but I remember having a good one earlier in the week. I'll have to write them down or email it to myself so that I remember. All right. So if you want to reach out to us via voicemail, you can go to thisxboxlife.com, click on the send a voicemail button there, or you can send us an email with your voicemail attached to it at contact at thisxboxlife.com. And we did get one this week. This is from FizzPop, who's actually our winner of our Amazon contest last week. So he sent a voicemail again to us. So here, let's hear it again. Let's hear it.
Hi TXL, it's Phil here, gamertag FizzPop. I just wanted to leave a voicemail to say thank you for the amazon.co.uk code which you sent me from last week's show. I shall use it to buy The Crew 2, unless there's something that comes out before that I'm wanting, but whenever I do, I shall of course use the TXL link. This week I've been playing Life is Strange Before the Storm. I finished the game with all the achievements. The story is very intense, but the story is not as strange as in the first game. I'd say the first game is just slightly better, but it's still good. I'm waiting for the Sniper Elite DLC to go on sale before I play any more of that, but I will be continuing with that at some stage. But I have been playing Hunter Call of the Wild, which I'm finding quite absorbing. So I have a question for you. There was a post on Facebook about the difficulty of space games, and my question is about difficulty of games in general. I'm finding as I get older that games are much more complicated and I can't get my hands around some of the controls easily, and this is one of the reasons why I'm liking Hunter Call of the Wild, because it's straightforward and I can shoot things without being shot in the head every 2 minutes, because in other games I can't move my hands fast enough. So the question is this: do you think developers need to develop games more with older people in mind? I would say that the number of older gamers is increasing as the people who played games in the early days get older, and I would say that older people, as a general rule, possibly have a more of a disposable income and also have more time to play as their families have grown up and they've retired, etc., etc. So, do developers need to pay more attention to older people? What do you think? Thank you.
Great question. Because I fall in this category. Yeah.
Yes, you do. I don't, however.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I got you by what, a year. Um, and we have, I mean, believe it or not, we have. I know there's at least one gamer in our community who's in his 60s, and we have several in their 50s, and a bunch in the 40s, and probably even more in their 30s. So it's interesting if you. He says that games have gotten harder, and I think it's harder from a different standpoint because I, I think in some ways they've gotten easier because back in the day, like I never ever completed a game. Like you think of the original games that came out in the arcades, you would play
Sure.
them until you hit like a kill screen, right? It would, Donkey Kong, Pac Man, whatever. No one ever really completed. And then when, you know, computer games came out or there was a start and an end, I still never. I think the first game ever got close to finishing, that I actually played all the way through, was the original XCOM. And the only reason I didn't finish it was because I was playing on Windows 95. And when I got to the part where I took off to Mars, the game crashed. Like, it wouldn't load to Mars. I couldn't get to Mars. The game was fine up to that point. But, I can't remember the first game I completed, but it was more probably on the 360 was probably the first game that I probably ever completed was on that console. Um, so, but you look back at some of those games and like games like Cuphead or Super Meat Boy, those are really hard. But I think they're designed more for like that kind of classic arcade, really hard gaming. And then you got games that like Call of Duty campaign or Uncharted or whatever. You've got these campaigns that you can put on an easier mode and actually get your way through and play the story. And some of them can be still very complicated. I feel a lot of these get stupid at the end, and you're playing on baby mode all the way through, and at the end they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make it really super duper hard because we're game developers and we can be jerks." Um,
Nice.
so yeah, I think back when the games were originally first coming out, people were playing were kids. The adults, those that were our age now, would tell us that video games are no good. They're going to rot your brain. You're never going to make money doing it. Blah blah blah. It's a waste of time and all that. And now all those kids are adults, and we're the
Yeah.
ones probably buying the majority of this stuff. And there are a lot of kids that game. Obviously, there always will be. So yeah, I would like to see. I find myself when I play a game, I'm always putting it like when I do the story, I put it on the easiest mode. Sometimes I'll do normal, depending on the game, but most of the time I'm like, you know what? I'll just put this on the easy mode because I just want to play the game. I don't want to get frustrated. I don't want to because they do it. It feels really complicated, and there's some games that I can't play because it's like it's too involved or I don't understand it. It's just like, there's like, if there's too many layers to it, then it's just like, "Pff, I'm out, you know.
Yeah.
I like it more straightforward, like a Call of Duty, it's just go forward and shoot, like, okay, a couple of buttons and I can get those down. There's the reload, there's the zoom, and there's the shoot and the run and the melee, right? There's not a whole lot more to it. Um, and so I think in some ways games have become a little easier because even now as an older person, I can finish games, which when I was younger, I couldn't. Those games were just brutally hard.
Yeah.
And even that style like Cuphead, I played for a little bit, but couldn't get very far, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to. It's just not something I'm willing to just sit down and try to memorize. I don't have the patience to try to play something like that. Um, but, but I think the majority of stuff is, playable for everybody. But yeah, this generation is getting older, and I would think that developers would want to, because it's interesting if you think about it. Rob, you and I are 30, or sorry, yeah, we're in our 30s. So
Yes.
you and I are in our age group. 20 years from now, okay, we're going to be in our 60s, and are we still going to be playing? I imagine we would still be playing. We've been playing video games since we were kids,
Absolutely.
and in our 40s, we're still playing them. Probably, I think you and I are playing them more now than we did back then, even. So
Yep.
why wouldn't I play even more when I'm in retirement, right?
Right.
So that's he brings an interesting point. Not only making them easier, but things that might appeal to senior citizens,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because how many senior citizens are going to want to sit down and play GTA?
Yeah, I just saw this thing on Facebook a couple days ago about, I think it was this lady in her 70s that
Yeah.
plays Skyrim. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah.
And that's great that she does. But how many people are going to,
Right.
a lot of people that age probably aren't interested in something like Skyrim. As good as the game might be, it's probably not going to appeal. So what is going to appeal to an older gamer? And maybe as these developers and stuff, as they're aging, maybe they're going to start to develop stuff because their tastes, I think, would change too. Um, or are they just going to keep bringing in a younger crowd of developers? It's an interesting question. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I agree on the man. Some of the stuff's just too complicated. I just can't figure it out. And sometimes I don't want to. If there's too much there, if I can't just sit down and play, and if I've got to like get a book or go read an online wiki or
It's terrible.
yeah, I'm not here to read, man. I just want to play. I don't want to waste my time going, what does this do? And why? Well, you need to craft it. And I that's like games with crafting and stuff. I was playing the Division for a long time, and I think it was Mojo Red who pointed something out to me one day, and I'm like, oh, I haven't even messed with the. I guess I'm not even playing the game right. And here I'd already completed the campaign. I've been into the PvP, and there's parts of it that I just never even mess with because it's just like I don't. It's more complicated, or it goes beyond what I want. I don't care about crafting and doing all this stuff. As much as I love Diablo 3, I'll often look at like, okay, well, I've got this item equipped. This one says it's better on this, but it's less than on this one. Like the attack is better, but the defense is not as good. And I think these items mean health, and they're kind of neutral. And then I'm looking at there's all these attributes, and well, this one gives you vitality, and this one gives you intelligence, and like, well, which one's better? It's like a flip flop. It's like,
Yeah.
but people who are really into it, they go, oh, well, you're playing as a necromancer, so intelligence is important, and that's the one you want, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but which one's better? I'm still like, just give me something, like, give me a check mark. This one's better than what you have. Boom, I'll take it. And move on. It's don't give me all that information. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Or there should be like a senior option, like a turn this on. That way, for the younger kids that want all that in depth, it's there. But for people like me, just go, here you go. Here's your better sword. Take this one. Okay, thank you. So,
That's
anyway,
funny.
yeah. So thanks for sending in a voicemail, Fizz Pop.
Yeah.
So we got a comment here. If I can read it. Again, and you can tell I'm old because I'm squinting at the screen trying to read it. Looks like Andy Fox. Sorry if I'm reading that wrong. It says, I wish they would make more games like Sunset Overdrive and Crackdown for older gamers like me that aim for fun instead of getting you to pull a trigger in 0.00001 seconds, or you end up playing in a pool of your own blood. Yes, I agree. Both of those games that you mentioned are awesome. Loved them. All right, so let's go to other ways to stay in tune with us. Twitter, and also on Facebook. So you can go to thisxboxlife.com/Twitter or Facebook, either way. Most of our stuff is on the Facebook group. So feel free to join us out there. All right, Rob, what are we going to spend our monies on this week?
Well, I don't know if we'll spend our money on it, but it'll be available this week for us to spend our money on it. So new games this week for February 12th through the 18th. And don't forget, one of these days is Valentine's Day, right in the middle of that period. So make sure if you're going to buy something for your sweetie there, make it one of these games or use our Amazon link. Yeah, how about that? But anyway, February 12th through the 18th, we have on February 13th, Dynasty Warriors #9. Also, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then the Fall Part 2 Unbound. So those were on the 13th. And on February 16th, we have Faye. Faye, F-E is the name.
Faya.
And
it's actually,
what?
I found out it's actually pronounced Faya.
Faya?
Faya. Yep.
Okay. And they should spell it that way.
Well,
So we
it's
have
because
that.
of where the game was made.
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced there.
Yeah, we have a person at work with that name.
Okay.
This guy. Anyway, and then Claybook. And of these titles, Fea and Kingdom Come Deliverance, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, and Dynasty Warriors 9 are all Xbox One X enhanced. So there's a couple things coming out this week. Then Games with Gold is going to be making the old switcheroo here on, let's see, which day is that? On Friday. So Xbox One new to the scene will be Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, which is actually a really good game. And continuing through that month of February, Shadow Warrior. Xbox 360, we have Split Second Exiting, so make sure to grab that one before the 15th or before the 16th. And then Crazy Taxi is coming in. I love Crazy Taxi, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm kind of burned out on it because there's been so many like re-releases of it. You know what I mean?
You know you're gonna play this anyways.
I probably will. Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it on the Dreamcast. It was fantastic. It was just like just like because it was in arcades, wasn't it?
Yep.
I thought it was, yeah. So it was just like in the arcades, and then the 360 version, spot on. So yeah, Crazy Taxi's coming to town. Great game if you've never played it. And then, as usual, if you're an iTunes user, make sure to find the show on iTunes. Just take a couple seconds, search it up, give us a review, 5 stars if you could. The more of those that we get, the more we get boosted in the rankings over there, so more folks can find out about our wonderful podcast. And we're streaming on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. So this podcast now is being streamed to all of those. And there's gameplay that's being streamed to those as well. So you can probably watch YouTube at work. I'm just saying. They might block Mixer and Twitch, but YouTube, usually you get in. Usually that's green light. That's another way to listen to the podcast, by the way. And then also, if you're making any purchases, like for, I don't know, Valentine's Day, and you're going to be making those purchases on Amazon, well, first of all, you're probably going to be in trouble because you're running late with that, because you should have thought about it earlier. But if you're making any purchases on Amazon, make sure to use our affiliate link. You can find that at thisxboxlife.com. Click on the big Amazon logo, or you can go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. Make sure to bookmark one or both of those if you want, and use those each and every time you make your purchases. It helps offset some of the costs that we have for the show here, and does not cost you anything extra, and we greatly appreciate it. And I don't have anything else for this episode 470. How about you, Mark?
Oh, I do actually, because I forgot. I posted up a question in our Facebook group last minute if anyone had any questions. But, nice you to join us, Commander Sisson, as we're about ready to get offline here. Late, as always. No. So Brian Tulp Jr. Sent us a question, said, is there any aspect to a game that makes you continually go back to it based on that aspect? I don't know if he means like the style of game, but like,
or if it's fun.
Yeah, like Diablo 3 is one I have put, like, I played through the entire game on the 360, and then when it came out on the Xbox One, I rebought it, and then I played it through. I've got like all 7 or 8 characters up to level 70. I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours in it, just because it's fun. I mean, it's so much fun just to go in and do the rifts, and just play and slay monsters and seeing all the different rifts that they have and the levels and stuff. That keeps me going back to Diablo 3. I am so stoked for Diablo 4. I hope they get us one here the next couple of years, because I'm ready for it. I seriously am. And again, it's just the fun factor. Um, Games where you're with your friends, I think, is what brings me back. Like I'm not really looking forward to Sea of Thieves. But being in the game with Jesus and Gunny and Pinpoint Red, it was those guys that made that game fun. Like listening to them, watching them throw up on each other, and you know, Jesus ringing the bell 3 times, saying that means drop the anchor when you hear the bell ring 3 times, and Pinpoint Red just being goofy and running around. Just the different things like that made it fun, and I like doing like cooperative games. I'm not a big competitive. I do play some Call of Duty, but I prefer like cooperative gameplay is my favorite. Coming back with your friends, getting together with people to play stuff. To me, that's what keeps me coming back to play games. So that's sometimes I'll play stuff I don't really want to play, but it's because I'm playing with a group of people and I know I'll have a good time.
Right.
So, what about you, Rob?
You know,
Those timers in your
there's
mobile games, that's what keeps you coming back.
no. Well, actually, it does. But no, but like there's a couple of different factors. It's it's rarely story, which is strange. I mean, story's nice, but I'm never like really dying to find out like, oh, what happens next? I'm sort of like a passenger with stories, and just along for the ride, see what happens next. But if like for me, games like Skyforce Reloaded, for some reason, I just don't tire of that game. Just it's short little bursts of gaming, kind of like mobile games, I guess, in some ways. It's short little bursts of gaming, and then you're like, man, I want just one more.
Just
Let
one
me
more,
play
yep.
just one more. And then they're short. What are they, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes,
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah.
And then you're like, oh man, I didn't make it. About halfway through, I did. I got stuck in that corner, and then I blew up. And you're like, okay, let me do one more. I'm just gonna
Just
finish
one
that one.
more.
And even like card games like Spider Solitaire, Spider Solitaire, or Free Cell, or any of those, they had that same draw like back in the day, like 20 years ago. Let me play just one more, just one more, just one more, just one more, and then you get hooked. And I find that if something's like too hard, it's like I don't see it as a challenge. It actually discourages me.
Right.
I don't like having. I don't like that. If my son was like that, I'd be like, you sit there and you play that game, But it's are we kind of like spoiled by progress in games? And if you're not making the progress, does that kill it for us? Does that kill the joy of the game? I don't know. But anyway, I guess fun factor, and there's just certain games that hook me in. There's certain aspects of the games that I like, and like Dishonored or Wolfenstein. There's certain aspects of them that I just like, and they make me think about the game. Okay, maybe that's a good way to look at it. If the game affects you to the point of where you're thinking about the game when you're not playing, that's the ones that hook you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If games don't have that, I can't really say charm, but if they don't have that ability, then those are the ones that just go into like like I was going to say gigantic, but where it's like, well, I'll play it. I'll play it next week. And you just never get to them.
Right.
But
Well, you can't say that about Gigantic. It might pull you in. It might be one of those games you just haven't tried it yet.
No, it was no, I was an alpha
Oh, okay.
tester for them, and I really enjoyed it. I was actually looking forward to the release.
Obviously not enough.
Yeah, apparently
All
it's
right.
my fault. My fault that they're getting shut down.
Well, thanks, Brian, for writing in. Also, other thing I wanted to mention. So, Cubicle Lake asked if anyone was playing Monster Hunter World, and Rob, you haven't played that at all, right?
No, I'm like so tempted to like start digging into it, and I haven't bought it, but to dig into it because from the hype, I'll probably want to get it.
Yeah, I'm like the same there. I was waiting for this to come out, and this was like one of those big franchises that have been around, and it's like, oh, we get to
Hmm.
play, and everybody. It's like every time I open up my friends list, like half my friends list is playing this game. But every time I've watched people play, I actually was watching Jesus and uh, Frito Bandito play the other day, and I was in a party with them talking to them, and I was watching them play, and I'm just like, and he was explaining to me all this, and I was just like, I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting this. It's just it's one of those. I think there's way too much to it, and it's just go kill a monster, you know, take his tail, take his claws, whatever, his horn, go back, turn it into armor or weapons, go back out and do. It's just like constant that, and it seems like people are loving it, but Rob and I aren't playing it. So, what I wanted to tell everybody is for those that are in the TXL community, if you are playing this game, my understanding is, and I saw someone ask about this, um, it, that it looks like there's clan or guild or groups that you can do in the game. I would encourage you guys to hook up with Horrible Gamers podcast. They do have a group set up, and there's a lot of them playing the Monster Hunter. So, if somebody wants to run a TXL one, you can, but we're not going to be a part of it. And I don't, I'd rather you guys just go over to a group where there is going to be where that group is actually, running that group and has a lot of people loving that game. So reach out to Gunny Chief, Jesus Walks a Lot, Gib 8777, and they will be able to play some Monster Hunter World with you guys. I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Anything else from you, Rob?
No, sir.
All right. So that was a short one. See, now that Brun's gone, we're gonna have short shows.
That's right.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Until then, find us online and let's play some games. I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
And I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody. Catch you all next